College basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. We are inside the Arena Auditorium in Laramie, Wyoming. Kyle Houston and the former Cowboy Steve Gosar with you. And Steve, let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game.
Well, I think for the Cowboys, they just can't settle. That matchup zone against Utah State will lull you into shooting a lot of threes. I think you got to really attack it. And then Coach Wicks always talks about own your role. I think tonight they need to own their role, but then also elevate their effort. For Utah State, they've got to clean the glass. They really beat up their opponents on the glass and make the most of it. And then they really pass the ball well. This is an unselfish team. They're going to get some open shots. You just got to knock them down.
Tough place to play in Wyoming. Let's take a look at the starters tonight. And obviously the big omission, we talked about it at the top. No Obi Agbem tonight for the Cowboys. He's out because of concussion protocol. AJ Wills is going to get a lot of playing time for the Cowboys, expected to run that point guard situation. Head coach for the Utah State Aggies, first season, Jared Calhoun. What a job he's done in his first year in Logan. And then the first-year head coach for the Cowboys, Sundance Wicks. He is back again after being an assistant coach for the Cowboys, and he's got his team playing well. Tough loss against San Diego State after a big win against Fresno State. And we are just about underway from the Dome of Doom. Here's the tip, and it's won by Utah State, and we are underway. Utah State moving right to left in their dark navies. And Wyoming moving left to right on your screen in their whites with the brown lettering and the gold trim.
You'll see a lot of dribble handoffs. Utah State loves to come off those down screens, throw it up there by the rim for lobs for their big men.
Jordan Nesbitt called for the early foul off the first possession.
Okay, this is a very good offensive team in Utah State. They share the ball really well. They space the court and they pull you away from the basket. And it's very difficult to guard because there's so many weapons on the court.
They average almost 19 assists per game. They distribute the ball well, and a lot of different guys can score.
Oh, so many weapons on that court. They shoot the three ball really well. And so you've got so many different actions that you need to guard. Cowboys are going to have to be very alert, and they're really going to have to communicate tonight.
Martinez hits both free throws. He was 8 of 8 from the charity stripe against Wyoming in their matchup on December 4th. Wills with it. Now Belich over to Nesbitt.
And I tell you, this is that matchup zone that, you know, you can get that ball into the high post. You need to attack it there, but it's going to have some man-to-man principles. You'll see them go with cutters, you know, through the lane and switch up who's up on top. So it's a real difficult thing, but that's what I love right there. That's how I think you attack this zone. Put it on the deck, get to the rim like Jordan Nesbitt just did.
Yeah, deep into the shot clock, Nesbitt realized it, and a tough shot goes in. He's averaging almost 10 points per game in his last 4. Inside, rejected by Henry. The pass was going to Gadarazzi.
Yeah. That first possession by the Cowboys, Dante Allen had an opportunity to shoot that three in the corner, and he didn't. He passed up and just made sure that they got it out. They got a really good shot. So not settling that very first possession has been very good for the Cowboys.
Wills looking for Henry inside. Henry sets the screen. Here's Wills going to get up against Gadarazzi. Nice pass inside. Belich with the finish.
Watching the New Mexico game against Utah State, they had a lot of success with that high ball screen. They got a lot of shots in the corner threes, but that was a fantastic high percentage shot for the Cowboys, and that's a silly foul by Belich.
Yeah, didn't need to reach in there, but here's a replay of the last play.
Yeah, just a high ball screen right there, and Wills comes across that baseline. They were taking away the corner three, but he found inside a much higher percentage shot for the Cowboys.
And he knew he wasn't going to win that height battle against Abben Gadarazzi. He's at 6'11", while Wills is just 6'2". Martinez stops and pops a three ball in and out and rebounded by Dante Allen. He'll be a huge key tonight for the Cowboys.
He's going to have to do it on both ends. He's going to have to, give us a little, take a little bit of that scoring load, but then on defensively, he's going to have to rebound a lot better tonight than he has in the past.
Nesbitt with it up top, over to Wills. 4-2 Wyoming lead, a little over 2 minutes gone by. Here's Allen, corner three, and no good, rebounded by Albury. Albury moves it up court quickly. Moves it to Acano. Now back to Albury. He's asking for a screen, but he gives it to Gattaretzi instead. Hands it off. Falslev goes in, lobs it up, and the little alley-oop. Nice play from the Aggies.
That's the action they love. Either it's a dribble handoff or you'll get that off a down screen. And as he comes off that down screen, he'll curl and just throw it up there by the rim. And he's got some great length that can go up and finish that play.
Wills to Allen. Allen over to Wills. Wills thought about it for a second. 10 on the shot clock. Henry at the elbow. Moving in, goes up, strong left hand, misses, and rebounded by Albury.
Looked like he got a little contact going up on that shot. Didn't get the call, though.
Martinez stops, tries his second three. No good again. Rebounded by Utah State. It went right to the Aggies.
Cowboys need to make that one and done. They cannot give this offense second and third opportunities to score.
Gattaretzi inside and hit for a moment by Allen. Good help D. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Acano going in. Acano goes, misses the dunk. Rebounded by Falslev. Third chance opportunity for the Aggies on this possession.
This could be a long night if the Cowboys can't make it one and done.
Falslev misses everything, and it's grabbed by Albury and put it in. 4 different opportunities for Utah State on that possession.
Great effort on their part. They're attacking the glass. They're going, and they're making their opportunities right now. They're not hitting the great open shots, but they're making their opportunities by their effort.
Wills brings it up. 6-4. Aggies with the lead. 4 minutes gone by. Inside, Nesbitt up and in! Strong move from Jordan Nesbitt.
I think that high post is really where this zone is susceptible. You got to get it into that high post and attack from there.
All even up at 6. Falslev with it. Falslev working against Allen. Allen with the contact. And Falslev will go to the line after this break. It's been an even game so far. Jordan Nesbitt. He finishes with authority. How you doing, number 16? Back in a moment. First Mountain West Conference meeting of the year came back on December 4th in Logan, and it was a close back and forth battle between the Aggies and the Cowboys. Ultimately ended with a Utah State 70-67 win, but it came oh so close to going to overtime. The desperation heave from Jordan Nesbitt hits the front of the rim. But in the series history, this is a 92nd all-time meeting, a series that dates back to 1926. It was just before nearly your freshman year, Steve, and Wyoming leads the series 53-38, but Utah State's gotten the better of the Cowboys in 8 in the last 10.
Yeah, in that last game, the Cowboys shot an amazing 46% from the three-point line. That kept them in that game largely. They took care of the ball, but they did give up the rebounding battle. They lost by 8, including a number of offensive rebounds, and that's what we've seen here so far tonight. The Cowboys have got to clean the glass and take care of that ball.
Jordan Nesbitt brings down the rebound on that missed free throw. He's going to be key, the leading rebounder for the Cowboys. Wills over to Nesbitt. Back to Wills. Wills thought about shooting. Drives in, goes up, tough shot, no good, and it's rebounded by Carson Templin into the game for the first time. Ian Martinez with it. Now to Anderson. Anderson misses the 3, and Wills goes up with the rebound. Great rebound from A.J. Wills.
He was up in the trees there getting that rebound. They need him to do that. They need all 5 guys defensively to go and rebound. Come down, let Utah State be one and done.
Nesbitt working one-on-one against Martinez. Hands it off, Dante Allen. Now to Wills, 7 on the shot clock. Here's Kobe Newton in for the first time. Newton drives in, stops for a moment, turns, fires, no good. Tough shot, good D by the Aggies, and they'll bring it up court. Allen moves it over. Falslev with it. Falslev working on Allen. This is Drake Allen for the Aggies. Now up to Carson Templin. Templin tried to hand it off to Falslev. Good D by Toko Tynamo into the game. Poked away Nesbitt with it. He's got Wills with him. Tries to go over Martinez. Great play on the 2-on-1 from Ian Martinez. Here's Drake Allen now to Anderson. Tucker Anderson drives in. Backwards pass. Drake Allen, corner three, got it.
Wow, that just was a bad turn of events for the Cowboys. Had a look like a 2-on-1. They were going to get an easy basket off that turnover, only to give up a three at the other end after they turned it over.
You wonder if Nesbitt should have gone in harder on that 2-on-1, maybe draw some contact, use that big body, but great D from Ian Martinez. And Nesbitt will draw the foul.
You know, when you look at this team, you look and you watch the passing and you just love it. That's basketball. That's, you know, finding your teammate. Unselfish plays is what I see when I watch Utah State play. The Cowboys, you know what, your margin of error, you know, especially without Obi Agbem tonight, your margin of error is shrunk. And so you've got to capitalize. When you get a steal, you got to go get those points.
Here's Belich trying to answer with a three, no good, and it's rebounded by Drake Allen. Cowboys have yet to hit a three tonight. False lev with it. Allen thought about another three, poked away from behind by Dante Allen.
Cal, I love the effort I'm seeing out of Dante Allen on the defensive end. He is really fighting through handoffs, ball screens. His effort's been fantastic tonight. He's got to sustain that for 40 minutes.
He has been very good as of late, and especially in conference play, almost 11 points a game in conference play. Drake Allen, deep three, got it again, no hesitation.
Oh, great lift, beautiful shot.
He's a 35% three-point shooter. Led Utah State with 14 points in the last game. They're up by 7 right now. Just over 7 minutes gone by. Allen with it, working against Acano. Inside, Belich, nice pass. Toko Tynamo reverse layup. Great interior passing from the Cowboys to get a couple of easy layups.
Well, it helped that Acano fell down. You're playing 5-on-4. You should get a layup.
Templin hands it off to Allen, and an offensive foul.
Now that's a good call. There's been a couple of questionable handoffs and ball screens where the ball screener or the handoff is still moving. And right here, this is a very, you know, that's just a beautiful shot right there. You know what? But you got to really force, you know, him to be a dribbler.
13-8 Utah State with the lead. Kobe Newton. You'd like to see him get going tonight again against Utah State. He had 17 points and 5 three-pointers against the Aggies, and Logan and Tynamo misses the short floater. Allen is met by Allen. Drake to Dante. Dante working against Drake. Now to Acano. It's Allen against Allen. Templin to false left. False left was looking back for Templin. Now gives it to Anderson. No good on the three ball and rebounded by Newton. Newton brings it up court. Kobe Newton to Toko Tynamo. Now A.J. Wills. No Obi Agbem tonight. Wills is going to get a lot of playing time. Allen for three. No good. Cowboys 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Here's Drake Allen with it. 5-point lead for Utah State. 11:15 to go in the first half. Kyle Houston, Steve Gosar with you from Laramie. False lev inside. Templin goes up, gets Newton to jump and puts it in.
All set up by false left. You know what? He attracts so much attention. He gets such deep penetration, and you know what? Unselfishly drops that ball off for an easy bucket.
False lev, 2 assists tonight. Allen with it. Cowboys would love to get the three ball going. Allen loses control. 8 on the shot clock. Wills with it. He's being guarded by Anderson. Wills a little bit quicker. Good defense by false lev, and it's poked away. Now Utah State coming up. Allen driving hard. Tynamo reaches in.
Kyle, I love what Utah State has done. They're going from that matchup zone into a man-to-man.
We'll take a break. 15-8 Utah State leading the Cowboys. Back to the AA after this. The Utah State Aggies, they are second in the Mountain West Conference, but they have been one of the top teams, not just in the Mountain West, but in all of college basketball in terms of winning percentage, 19-3 overall, and they are tied for 5th place with UC Irvine, the Anteaters, in winning percentage with that .864 percentage. Jared Calhoun, his first season as the head coach, inherited a good program, but you know, Steve, when you come into a new program, you form your own identity. Very tough to do what he's doing this year.
Oh, absolutely. If you can change the, you know, just establish the culture and how you want to play in that first year, it's been a win. But, you know, not only are they doing that, but they're winning at a high clip as well.
Martinez for 3, no good, and Nesbitt comes in, grabs the rebound.
I'm always amazed at how he comes out of nowhere to get rebounds.
15-8. Aggies with the lead. Scotty Abube in for the first time. Wills with it. Tried to go up and knocked away. A little 2-on-1 for the Aggies. Throws it up. Allen goes in. Can't get it. Nesbitt was flying back. Didn't get a hand on it, but definitely caused some traffic. Wills with the floater.
Allen saw Nesbitt flying through the air, and it caused him, you know, to really question what he was going to do with that lob.
When you see somebody 6'6", 210, pure muscle, running full speed back at you, it makes you think twice for a moment. Martinez goes up, can't get it. Rebound goes to the Cowboys after Gadaretse missed it. No, 5-point lead. Abube inside. Gadaretse, nice pass. Belich up and in.
That was just miscommunication by Utah State. Belich just came right down the middle. Nobody was guarding him.
Second time Belich has been able to do that. He got the pass from Wills early on, and this time Abube kind of looked out of the corner of his eye and saw him.
Kyle, I've said this for many games. I think Belich is a real key for the Cowboys late.
Here's Nesbitt with the steal. Nesbitt going up strong, up and in. Jordan Nesbitt, the nice move, timeout Utah State.
Wow, I tell you what, the Cowboys just explosive offensively.
15-14, Aggies with the lead. Cowboys are on a 6-0 run over the last minute. Started with the Wills floater. And Belich with the great finish, and Nesbitt finally finishing it off. Steve, this has been a few really good possessions for the Cowboys.
On both sides of the court. It's been one and done defensively, and they haven't allowed Utah State to get a bucket down there, but then they've come back and got some real high percentage shots.
Well, a few minutes ago, Utah State had those 4 opportunities on the one possession. Kept getting those offensive boards. The timeout came, but since then, there seems to have been a big emphasis on defensive rebounding for the Cowboys, getting those one and done. So we've seen Wills come flying in, Nesbitt doing what he does best on the glass. So defensively, they've really started to shore things up.
And they have to. You just cannot give a really good offensive team like Utah State extra opportunities to score the ball.
Falslev has all day to shoot the 3, can't get it. Newton with the rebound.
Neither team is shooting the ball great from the three-point line. Utah State's at 22%. The Cowboys still haven't made one yet, but
Abube draws the foul. So Abube will shoot 2. Makes the first one. There's no better way to be in the game than through membership in the Cowboy Joe Club. For as little as $100 per year, you can make a direct impact on UW student athletes while earning top-tier benefits. Visit cowboyjoeclub.com to learn more and join today. Abube can't hit the second one. Violation on the Cowboys anyway. Wouldn't have mattered. But it's a 15-15 game.
I think Coach Wicks will take 1 out of 2 every day of the week with Abube at the line. He's only shooting 38% from the free throw line.
just his 11th made free throw of the year. Driving in is Barnes, can't get it. Gateretse going up against Abube, goes up and fouled, and they'll count the basket.
Abube gives up so much length, not just height, but length on his arms to Gateretse, and you know, that's a tough match for him.
So Gateretse will go to the line. He's a 61% free throw shooter, and he'll try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. I feel like with guys like this, they could almost just reach it in. Doesn't need to reach it in. He's pure. 3-point lead for the Aggies. 8:11 to go in the first half.
Looks like we're going to have Nesbitt do a little, run a little bit of the point there. While Wills catches a little bit of a break.
Yep, Nesbitt, Allen, and Newton, along with Belich and Abube. Outside, Newton. 3-ball. Can't get it. Cowboys 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. It's an area they'll obviously want to improve on in this game. It's something that they rely on quite a bit. Here's Abube with the steal. Abube going up, slams it with authority. Scotty Abube, the rim shaker.
Wow. A steal out front and a breakaway dunk. Gotta love that effort and intensity. But Gateretse being a little careless with the ball out front of the top of the key.
Barnes outside, false left for 3, no good. Neither team can find the 3-ball right now. Just 2 of 10 for Utah State. Nesbitt with it. Nesbitt going one-on-one. Strong move. Jordan Nesbitt up and in. Count the basket.
Wow. What a strong move. Barnes with a lot of contact, and he just finished right through it.
Jordan Nesbitt, 8 points on the game. Scotty Abube with the huge dunk, and we'll be back with more right after this. Kyle Houston and Steve Gosar with you. And Steve in the building tonight, making his presence felt, is Jordan Nesbitt.
Gosh, I tell you what, talk about stepping up, owning your game, and elevating it. We've seen that with Jordan Nesbitt tonight. His rebounding on the defensive end, his finishes. He's 4 for 4 from the field, and he has really elevated his game tonight in this first half.
Well, Obi Agbem out tonight, and not one guy is going to replace almost 18 points per game. So you go into the game going, all right, who are 2 or 3 guys that are going to step up, give us a little bit more than normal? And Jordan Nesbitt really finding himself tonight.
Oh, he is stepping up when you need him the most. And I tell you, on that last play, we finished through a couple of guys. He was fouled a couple of times on that play and managed to still get it up on the rim.
The foul went against Jordy Barnes, but as you mentioned, it could have gone against a couple of guys. And Nesbitt will try to complete the 3-point play. Can't get it. Still a 1-point lead for the Cowboys.
You know, that's, you know, going back to those free throws. In a game like this where the margin of error is a little bit smaller with Utah State and how well they score the ball, you can't leave points at the free throw line. You got to get them.
Drake Allen misses. It goes off of Nesbitt, it looks like. Amy Bonner, one of our officials tonight, had the best view of that. And ball stays with Utah State, but didn't hit the rim, so it stays at a 12-second shot clock. Albury to inbound. Finds Templin. Templin against Henry back in the game. Templin goes up. Good D by Henry. And Templin gets it. It's on the ground. He calls a timeout.
Good hustle. Good wherewithal. You know, he had nowhere to go. Couldn't get it out. Call a timeout. Save possession on the ball.
Well, just a couple of moments ago, Scotty Abube made the crowd erupt. Little poke takes it all the way. And, you know, he broke a rim a couple weeks ago in warm-ups. And the facility staff had to replace that. And I'm surprised that maybe they didn't have to come out and fix another one with that dunk.
Well, he finished with authority there. But I tell you, with that great effort and taking it all the way down, yeah, you got to enjoy it. And he did. It looked like he really enjoyed that finish.
19-18 in favor of the Cowboys, in part to that dunk by Scotty Abube. 19 seconds on the shot clock for Utah State after the timeout.
And with the Cowboys, though, we're seeing a lot of bench production.
The great inbound. Belich to Allen. Now back up to Wills. Wills, after getting that little breather, hands it back to Allen.
Utah State back into the matchup zone.
And Drake Allen with the steal. They move it up 3-on-1. Floater goes up and off of Utah State, and the Cowboys get the ball.
Utah State's really living with that lob. I like a lob. I don't love a lob, especially when you got numbers. Attack the rim.
Yeah, 3-on-1.
Nobody stopped false left. And so if nobody stops you, take it to the rim until somebody does.
And really, the lob wasn't that close either. Wills for three. No good. Rebounded by Nesbitt. Nesbitt with three guys on him. Nesbitt,
get him.
The strong move and a jump ball. Possession arrow goes toward the Cowboys. Sundance Wicks is telling Nesbitt to try to pass it out instead of...
When I watch this in live action, I'm kind of with Jordan Nesbitt. Look at Falslev's got two hands on his chest in there initially. I think you have to protect the rebounder.
Cowboys to inbound. Henry hands it off to Wills. Wyoming still without a three-pointer in this game, 0 for 5. Now Allen with it, 7 on the shot clock. Dante Allen has it poked away for a moment. Goes over to Nesbitt. 1 on the shot clock, gets it to go. Have a game, Jordan Nesbitt. First three ball of the evening for the Cowboys. 11 points for Jordan Nesbitt.
Wow. Huge shot late in the shot clock. He had no choice. He had to shoot that one, but elevated up. Big bucket for the Cowboys.
Nesbitt has half of the points for Wyoming. Albury with it. He's directing traffic, trying to get it to Martinez. They'd love to get Martinez going. The Aggies would. He steps into the paint, goes up, gets it to go. Strong move from the leading point getter for the Aggies.
He knew he got caught on a switch. Wills was on him. He had a little bit of size. Very smart move. Get into the paint and just elevate over the smaller defender.
16.4 points per game for Martinez. That's his 4th today. Wills to Nesbitt. Nesbitt calling for the screen. Jordan Nesbitt over to Belich. 5 on the shot clock. Belich kicks it outside. Nesbitt again has to fire a late three. No good, and it's rebounded by Martinez. Not the possession the Cowboys wanted. Here's Falslev looking inside to Gadaretse. He's working against Belich, and a tough shot. Good D from Belich.
I'm not sure either shot those last two possessions were the shot that either team wanted.
So it comes out as a wash ultimately on those possessions, but it seemed like Gadaretse forced that a little bit. Early in the shot clock, Wills with it. Now Dante Allen. And a foul call on Henry. Jordan Nesbitt have a game for the Wyoming Cowboys. His 3-ball late in the shot clock gives him 11 on the evening. We're all knotted up at 22. Back in Laramie, Wyoming. 22-22 between the Cowboys and the Utah State Aggies. Hey, Pokes fans, the 2025 Mountain West Basketball Championships are right around the corner. All session passes and hospitality packages are still available, and the priority seating deadline is February 22nd. Don't miss the Pokes in Sin City. Visit gowyo.com/tickets to get yours today. 2015, the Mountain West Conference tourney champions. Larry Nance Jr., Josh Allen, what a run the Pokes went on in 2015. Martinez goes up, strong move.
Absorbed that contact, and he still kept his nose going to the rim. That's a beautiful play right there.
Martinez has 6 points now after 2 strong moves.
You know, back to the Cowboys, though, offensively, 18 of the 22 points that they have are in the paint. They are not settling for threes. They're getting high percentage shots.
Well, there's a high percentage 3-ball wide open.
Dante Allen looked at me and said, what are you talking about?
Steve, let me shoot the 3.
Well,
Second 3-ball.
That's right. We need a little bit more three-point shooting then.
Hey, that being said, it was a great penetration, great pass out. And so anybody that's not going to take that 3, you question it a little bit.
As a coach, that's the three-point shots you want to take, because you're already squared to the bucket. You're not catching it from the side. It's inside out. All you got to do is finish that play. That was a beautiful pass by Belic.
Belic with a couple assists. Allen, that's his first 3 points of the game. Fouls on Kobe Newton. To the line goes Martinez. 85% free throw shooter. He's 2 of 2 already today, and makes the front end of a 1-and-1.
Cowboys doing a decent job on the glass tonight. They're only down 5, but it sure seems like they've got a lot more rebounds than just one offensive rebound.
Yeah.
I think the stats are a little wrong on that. Jordan Nesbitt has at least, you know what, 2 of his own.
Granted, they've been very efficient, shooting 52% from the floor, and Allen gets fouled on the 3-ball, so he'll go to the line and shoot 3.
Just do not foul a jump shooter. That is a cardinal sin right there.
A little Allen on Allen violence there. Drake Allen gets the arm of Dante Allen.
And Dante Allen really sold that one. I'm not so sure there was enough contact to knock him to the ground.
Hey, he'll take it. It's the first free throw. Pure on number 2.
And how well has he been playing as of late for the Cowboys? 18 against San Diego State on the road. His best point output of the season in the last game, but he's really stepped up. It's coming on. He's coming on at the right time.
Yeah, you talk about getting into February and the team starting to play well as you head toward the Mountain West Conference Championships. And there's another offensive foul. But not only the team, you want your individuals to play well. And Allen, he's gotten more and more comfortable with the brown and gold.
Absolutely. And I tell you, he's buying into what Coach Wicks is asking him to do on the defensive end. I'm telling you, the growth that he showed on the defensive end from the beginning of the year to now is remarkable.
2-point lead for the Pokes, 2.5 left in this first half. Jordan Nesbitt, he's got 11 points. And there's an illegal screen from Scotty Abube. Sundance Wicks is arguing.
And I think that was the same call down. It was moving screen, but it took off an open 3-pointer for Nesbitt, and he knocked that one down.
Two fouls for Abube. And he'll go and take a breather. Sundance Wicks still pleading his case, but his team will be on defense for right now.
Watch the lob here.
Martinez with it, going one-on-one against Henry. Thought about getting it back. Now up and in is Dexter Acano.
Oh, did he elevate in the lane? Good heavens.
6th-year player. He's working on his master's degree in sport management. If he plays another couple years, he'll get his doctorate in all likelihood. But he's out of eligibility after this year.
Oh, okay.
It's been a little confusing the last couple of years how many years of eligibility some guys get.
And I'll tell you, that may be an unsettled rule. We might see some changes here in the near future with that.
Henry with the nice left hook.
He doesn't look to be a scoring threat, you know, and I think a lot of times he thinks score secondary. That was a beautiful move. I think he needs to continue to keep thinking and being a threat offensively.
Great play by Belich to knock it away. The Cowboys have been very stingy on the defensive end. You've mentioned it a number of times tonight, Steve.
Oh, gosh, I tell you, just getting a hand on the ball. They have found ways to really, you know, cut this Utah State offense from being so effective.
Less than a minute to go in the first half. Kobe Newton with it. Newton drives in, almost stolen away. Here's Allen, 5 on the shot clock. Allen goes in strong. Allen goes up, gets it to roll. Strong move, Dante Allen.
Man, there's a lot of contact they're letting him play through. What a strong move and great finish.
Allen all of a sudden has 8 points. Here's Drake Allen. Outside, 3-ball, no good, and it's rebounded by Dante Allen. Cowboys can hold on for the last shot, and they will call their use it or lose it timeout.
I tell you, I love the way the Cowboys are competing on both sides of the court. They're absorbing that contact and finishing through the contact offensively. And you know what? Ever since that first couple possessions where they gave up offensive rebounds, it's been one and done, and it's been a real stingy defense.
Here's Dante Allen. He hit that 3-ball, and he got the 3-point foul shot, and then just a strong play from the 2019 Kentucky Mr. Basketball.
Well, that's why they brought him here. You know what? They needed that scoring, and I tell you, he's delivering right now. And you know what? I know this is one half of basketball. You got to do it for 40 minutes. But the Cowboys have a chance right now to build up a little momentum going into the halftime.
8 points for Dante Allen. He averages almost 11 in conference play. And again, we talk about it. He's just, with each and every game that's gone by, it seems the confidence is back for Allen. And the leadership to be able to take over games like that is back for Dante Allen.
Well, and this is a team, you know, that averages a little over 70 points a game. They need his scoring. I think you need to score a little bit more.
Newton for 3.
Right on cue, and I tell you what, Utah State gambling, trying to double team Nesbitt, and he made a perfect pass out of it. He found a great shooter.
Drake Allen goes in, misses. Now tossed up, and they count the basket for Dexter Acano. Gets the offensive board, throws it up with his right hand, and that's how the first half ends. But a great half of basketball for the Wyoming Cowboys. They lead 35-30.
Oh, I tell you, that last play, heartbreaking for the Cowboys. A couple of guys had their hands on the ball and just were trying to tip it up. Thought the clock was going to run out, but Acano just was where, you know, just what great presence to put it up on the glass.
Well, what a half for the Wyoming Cowboys. Utah State got out to the early lead. Cowboys storm back. They have a 5-point lead, thanks to 11 points for Nesbitt, 8 for Dante Allen. Electric dunk from Scotty Abube and great defense. We'll be back to give you the highlights and stats in the first half right after this break. Lots to be excited about right now if you're a Wyoming Cowboys fan. The home team has a 5-point lead heading into the second half over the Utah State Aggies. Kyle Houston, Steve Gosar with you. And Steve, let's revisit those keys to the game that you had.
Yeah, for Utah State, they've done a good job. They have not really extended it on cleaning the glass side of things. Cowboys have done a much better job making sure it's one and done, and they haven't hit their open shots. They've been getting some open shots, but not shooting well from the three-point line. Cowboys have done a fantastic job of not settling. 18 of their first 22 points came within the paint, and then later on in the half, that's when they started to open it up from the outside. But gosh, own your role and elevate your role. Dante Allen and Jordan Nesbitt have really come to play today. 19 of the 35 points between those two, and they had a wonderful first half. They got to do it for 20 more minutes.
Yeah, and you know, with these team that Utah State has, they're going to make the adjustments. You don't become 19-3 to start the year by accident, and they will come out firing.
Very well coached team with a lot of weapons. And, you know, make no mistake, you watch, they'll probably get a really high percentage shot to start this half.
Albury tried to go inside to Templin. Templin working against Wills. Height advantage. Templin right now really trying to get it. Wills doing a good job. Falstaff has to go up. Can't get it. Nesbitt brings it down. They can't get the mismatch into Templin, and Jordan Nesbitt made no mistake about that board.
Oh, Templin had that ball, but Nesbitt just went up over the top of him and brought that rebound down.
Fourth board for Jordan Nesbitt to go along with 11 points.
Okay, time and time again, I am just amazed how well he rebounds outside of his area.
7 on the shot clock. Belich over to Nesbitt. Nesbitt driving baseline. Nesbitt has to turn around. Low percentage shot, not the shot the Cowboys wanted. They'll go up Falstaff with it. Against Allen, can't get it. Too strong. Rebounded by Templin, and it's a 3-point lead.
Well, that second shot in transition is nearly a, is nearly a gimme all the time. You know, those, opportunities. Cowboys, a couple of them got caught not getting back in transition. Belich, would have been a great opportunity to get in there and help the Cowboys out and not let the Utah State get another look at it.
Allen short. Belich at the rebound, and he is fouled by Acano.
Cowboys' first 2 possessions really just passing it around the perimeter, and I think they're just trying to, get a feel for what Utah State's defense and what they're in.
There's the foul against Acano. Will's trying to inbound it, gets it into Henry. Henry gets something pulled off of his shorts. Allen with the 3 ball, no good, and it's rebounded by Ian Martinez. Martinez, a slow start to the first half, finished with a few points. Strong drive by Albury.
No backside defense there to stop that ball. Everybody was worried about what action Utah State was in. Now that action isn't going to score. The ball's going to score.
4-0 run for the Aggies to start this second half. Nesbitt with it. He had 11 in the first half. Wills goes up, floats it, no good. Henry tried to go up, knocked away by Templin.
It's a good look by the Cowboys. Great action to get that ball into the high post with Wills there. Yeah, that's a good shot for him to take.
1 of 4 from the field, playing a lot of minutes with the absence of Obi Agbim tonight, out in concussion protocol. 14 on the shot clock.
Utah State comes back man-to-man now. I love how they keep switching up the defenses. It really keeps that offense guessing.
Well, Henry with his second basket. Didn't affect the Cowboys too much on that possession. But to your point, Steve, they have switched it up a number of times. Here's Martinez. Martinez drives in. Nice move, gets it to roll. It's a tough angle shot.
Yeah, so smooth. Just controlled drive. Never looked like he was rushing anything at all. Knew he was going to get that ball up and exactly what to do with it. That's what great scorers do.
1-point lead for the Cowboys. Nesbitt with it. Over to Belich. Belich drives in, passes to Henry, goes up through his hands and taken up by the Aggies. Martinez with it. Goes up, Allen reaches in, count the basket, and 1.
This game is noticeably, played more in transition, not in the half court right now. Utah State is really looking to force the tempo here.
Scotty Abube will come in for Cole Henry.
And that's that's just not a good foul. If you're going to foul them in transition, just make sure they don't get it up there on the rim. That one was so light, you give them a bucket and a free throw.
And Martinez so good from the charity stripe. 85%. And he's hit all 4 tonight. Make it 5. And he also hit 8 in that last matchup on December 4th. Utah State all of a sudden with a 2-point lead. They've made their last 4 field goals. Belic with it. Back into that zone, Utah State. Allen has it poked away by Falslev. Called for the foul. Falslev thought that he had another steal. He's got 54 on the year with the 2 tonight.
He had a lot of ball. You could hear a lot of ball, but you could also hear a lot of skin down here on the court. Oh, I'm not quite so certain he wasn't taking that up to shoot.
That's what Sundance Wicks was arguing. Abube drives in. Going to get up against Isaac Johnson, taken away. Now Henry with it. Henry goes up and a charge. Offensive foul. Colby Newton got his feet set outside of the semicircle. Drake Allen called with the charge.
Boy, there's no better way to turn the momentum around than taking a charge on a transition layup. That is a beautiful play by Kobe Newton. And that's the type of plays the Cowboys are going to have to keep piecing back together again here. Now they need a good shot at this end.
2-point lead for the Aggies. Couple of turnovers for the Cowboys last couple of possessions.
I like the action with the ball screen, with those up top guards. I think the Cowboys got a lot of good looks out of that.
Allen for 3, can't get it, and rebounded by Martinez.
That was just a little bit late in the shot clock to get that ball screen. Not enough time to get that ball moving around.
And here's Johnson, the big man, for 3.
I tell you, I've watched him play last year in the NCAA tournament. That big fella can really shoot the ball. On that ball screen and a pop, that is a very difficult guard when you've got a 7-footer that can knock down that 3.
His sister Gracie plays on the Utah State women's team. Belic can't answer with the 3. It's a 5-point lead for the Aggies. Falslev with it. Now Allen hands it off to Martinez. Martinez inside, Johnson up and can't get it. Abube called for the foul. And that will take us to a timeout. It was a 5-point lead for the Cowboys. Now it's a 5-point lead for the Aggies. Back with more after this. It's been a good start for the Utah State Aggies in the second half, and Ian Martinez has 5 of the 12 points for Utah State.
And this is what you would expect from your leading scorer and your captain. I mean, this is how you step up on the road and, go from down 5 to up 5 in a matter of 5 minutes.
Averages over 16 points a game. He had 23 points in the last matchup against Wyoming in that 70-67 close win for the Aggies. And you just see the confidence that he plays with. Nothing seems to faze him.
Nothing seems to faze him, and it really doesn't look like he's trying. It's just kind of real easy for him. I mean, those are some easy points that he's putting up there, those shots, and they're all finding the bottom of the net.
For more than 50 years, the Cowboy Joe Club has worked to provide critical scholarships and resources for our UW student athletes. Are you ready to make an impact, all while earning great benefits like game day parking and special event invites? Visit cowboyjoeclub.com to learn more and join today. Johnson can't hit the second free throw. 6-point lead for the Aggies. It was a 35-30 lead for the Cowboys at the half. Wills pumps, drives, kicks it out. Tynamo for 3, no good. Belic goes up, poked away, and rebounded by the Aggies. Belic was the only one near that ball on the offensive board. 13-2. Utah State is outscoring the Cowboys to start this second half. Johnson working against Wills. Wills with the reach in.
Boy, Johnson didn't even play a second in the first half. And immediately here in the first 5 minutes, he's got 4 points, and he is making his presence known.
7 feet, 227 pounds from American Fork, Utah. Averages almost 4 a game. Working against Jordan Nesbitt back on the floor. Drake Allen with it. Allen over to Falslev. Mason Falslev drives in and gets the finger roll. Strong move from Falslev. 11-0 run for Utah State over the last 3 minutes.
You don't get to be 18-3 without being able to come back and face adversity and score some points on the road. This is a very talented team, and the Cowboys just need a bucket here.
And they get the bucket. Kobe Newton listening to Coach Steve Gosar.
You know, you just love those players that do what they're told. You know, when you say, hey, we need a bucket, and they go get you a 3-ball.
That is, no question about it, a huge 3-pointer from Kobe Newton.
So needed right there. Just needed to, you know, stop this scoring drought that they were on.
And then Newton with the great D leads to the turnover. Here's Wills to pass to Newton. He heard Steve Gosar said we need a bucket.
Inside out pass from the paint out to a good 3-point shooter. Usually leads to some good results.
Wills and Tynamo on the pick and roll. Tynamo wasn't quite ready for it. Goes up against Johnson. Nice move, blocked by Johnson. Tynamo will go to the line though, just shoot free throws. Wonder if he got him on the hip.
Couldn't quite see that one. I tell you, trying to take it up over a 7-footer. He worked every angle to try to get that ball up there on the rim.
Might have been the little left-hand push. In any case, Tynamo will go to the line to shoot 2. Makes the first one. He's at about 70% on the year. Been a good pushback for the Cowboys.
They needed that, and I tell you, it all started with Jordan Nesbitt getting back in the ball game. You know what? He's the energy right now for the Cowboys. He's that edge defensively, rebounding. He's just doing a lot for them, and they need him in this ball game.
11 points for Nesbitt, 4 rebounds, really good D. Tynamo with 2 free throws, gets the crowd back into it, and a foul on the floor against the Cowboys.
Looked like Newton got hung up with Johnson on that ball screen, and I don't know, that's a tough one. I'm a play on.
Yeah. There's been a lot of contact on the screens, both offensively and defensively. We've seen a few of those moving screen calls, and the Newton called for trying to fight his way through. Martinez for 3, and nothing. Now student section, they'll let Ian Martinez know that he didn't hit anything. He laughs it off a little bit, didn't guarantee that's not going to phase him. No, we talked about it a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. Tell you what, great shooters and great scorers. They've got short memories. You know, they think the last one always goes in and always went in.
There's Tynamo. And Toko Tynamo, he's been up and down this year, and they'll really need him in this second half. He's got the last 4 points for the Cowboys. Falslev. Now Templin. Templin goes up, in and out, poked away, and grabbed by Templin. Acano loses his dribble, passes it out. Martinez, a little hot to handle. He'll get things set up. Going for Templin out there. 8 seconds. Templin spots up the 3. No good. Way off. Cowboys have the chance to retake the lead on this possession. 7-0 run for the Cowboys over the last 2 minutes. Wills inside. Tynamo up. No good. Too strong on the layup. Here's Allen. Now Acano. Acano misses. Templin goes up, and it's rebounded by Falslev. Now Allen kicks it outside. Martinez Three ball, no good. Rebounded again. Another offensive board for the Aggies. Another one. Allen goes up and is fouled. Multiple opportunities for the Utah State Aggies. Allen will go to the line after this break. It's a 1-point game. Always love to see the young fans at the Arena Auditorium. They're cheering on their Cowboys, hoping Wyoming can get back to what made them successful in the first half. Cowboys are on a 7-0 run, but a few missed defensive rebounding opportunities, Steve Gosar.
Coach Wicks was fired up on that play. You know what? The Cowboys had played such good defense, one and done on the glass, but you know what? That possession right there, you cannot give Utah State that many opportunities. This is a dangerous ball club, and if you give them more opportunities to score, guess what? They will.
Drake Allen to shoot 2 after the foul on Tynamo before the break. Allen pure on the first one.
I thought for the most part that possession, the Cowboys had great defense, forced them into some tough shots. They just couldn't finish the defensive possession with a rebound.
3-point lead for the Aggies. Nesbitt brings it up right in front of us. Over to Wills. Wills directing traffic. A.J. Wills kicks it over to Kobe Newton. Inside, Henry. Henry has a lay and slams it home.
He was definitely thinking score as his primary thought, and I love it. He's got to attack the rim and continue to be an offensive threat.
6 points for Henry, 3 of 4 from the field. Allen trying to answer with a 3, can't get it. There's Henry with the strong defensive board.
They're not going to get an extra offensive rebound with Henry in the ball game right now. Very strong rebound.
It looks similar to coming out of the timeout early in the first half, where the Cowboys are coming out with a little more fire on the glass. Cowboys can take the lead again. Wills able to hand it off to Nesbitt. Now back up to Wills, over to Newton. Newton can't get it. And Nesbitt goes flying, but the rebound goes to Albury. Albury up top, looking for Templin inside, working one-on-one against Allen. Templin goes with the left hand. Allen reaches in, pokes it away, gets it out. Albury with it, 13 on the shot clock. Spreads it out, going one-on-one against Henry. Drives in, goes up, and he'll shoot 2.
The Cowboys have been switching a lot of screens on the perimeter, and it just looked like Henry just got caught up, you know what, trying to guard, a guard there late in the shot clock. That's a tough matchup for him right there. But I love the effort and the intensity, the edge that Henry's brought off the bench, since that timeout.
Hey, Pokes fans, the 2025 Mountain West Basketball Championships are right around the corner. All session passes and hospitality packages are still available, and the priority seating deadline is February 22nd. Don't miss the Pokes in Sin City. Visit gowyo.com/tickets to get yours today. Last time the Pokes were in Sin City, they beat UNLV 63-61. And they'll look to have a good little run in the Mountain West tourney. 3-point lead here for the Utah State Aggies. Kyle Houston and the former Cowboy Steve Gosar with you. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday evening in Laramie.
Gadarese back into the ball game. He really hasn't played a whole lot this second half.
No, it was Isaac Johnson that started the second half. Newton with it. Newton has it poked away from behind by Allen, right to Wills though. 10 on the shot clock. A.J. Wills gets the screen from Henry. Goes inside to Henry. Now back outside. Long 3, Kobe Newton, no good. Henry gets pushed, and it's rebounded by the Aggies. Albury goes in, no shot. Foul on Nesbitt right at about the elbow.
I don't mind that foul, to be quite honest with you. You know what? They had the numbers. Good effort by Henry, but you know what? Not a great possession for the Cowboys. You know, a 30-foot jumper at the end of the shot clock. Got to get back that ball to that high post and get the attack in the rim.
I said Henry was pushed. From our angle after that replay, it didn't look like it. It looked like it was just one of those hustle plays to try to keep it in. On the other side, Albury to the line. 17 fouls for the Cowboys in the second half, so the Aggies will be shooting the rest of the way.
You know, for the first 10 minutes of this second half, Allen and Nesbitt are scoreless. They carried the load for the Cowboys in the first half and have not done anything in the second half on the scoring front so far.
No good on the second one. Nesbitt brings home the rebound. 5th rebound for Jordan Nesbitt. He'll bring it up court. See if he can have one of those strong plays to the basket that we saw in the first half. He'll hand it off to Wills. A little pick and roll with Henry. Wills will kick it outside to Newton. 12 on the shot clock. Newton moves to his left. Newton now to Henry. Henry looking to give it up. Henry has it poked away. Now Martinez moves it up to Albury. Albury, nice move, gets it to roll in. Strong, smooth move from Albury off the turnover from the Cowboys. 6-point lead again for Utah State.
Utah State just has the ability to score quickly. They get out in transition, get high percentage shots.
Henry has it poked away. Sundance Wicks wanted a foul call. Won't get it. Martinez moves forward. Martinez drives in, bumps Nesbitt, and puts it in. And the Cowboys call a timeout. It's an 8-point lead for Utah State with 8:54 to go. And we will take a timeout. Utah State 54, Wyoming 46. Back in Laramie, Wyoming, Utah State with an 8-point lead, currently on a 7-0 run. Kyle Houston, Steve Gosar with you. It's been a second half of runs early on. Utah State on a 6-0 run. Cowboys answer with a 7-0 run of their own, and Utah State has had the last 7. But what do the Cowboys need to do to limit Utah State and get things going offensively, Steve?
Yeah, I think I got to get back to scoring in the paint, consistently attacking that rim. I think Utah State's done a great job of switching up defenses, going from that matchup zone to man, really keeping the Cowboys out of a good offensive rhythm and finding really good shots. But, you know, to their credit, now, you know, Utah State has extended this rebounding advantage up to 11 right now. You can't give good ball clubs that many extra opportunities to score.
Yeah, 31 rebounds for Utah State, just 20 for Wyoming. A foul called.
And great play right there out of that timeout. Jordan Nesbitt going downhill to the rim, picks up that foul. That's, you know, the Cowboys need to do more of that.
Second foul against Martinez, 15th foul for Utah State. Newton inside. Belich goes up. It's blocked. Gadarezzi. Now Belich gets it back and goes up. Sundance Wicks was fired up. He thought there was a foul on that first attempt from Belich, but credit Mattia for going up strong again.
Cowboys very fortunate that he was able to get that back and score over the much bigger defender.
And Nesbitt called for the foul, diving for that ball. Hit the legs of Drake Allen.
That's his third foul right there. That's you know, trying to make it a hustle play there, but at the end of the day,
you almost wonder you just cut your losses there instead of diving. It's hindsight's 20/20, of course. You want your guys to, you know, be diving for balls, making those efforts, kind of fire up your team. No good on the free throw for Allen.
And I hate to say it, worked out for the Cowboys' favor, missing on the front end of that one-on-one. That ends up being a stop.
Nesbitt with it. Nesbitt driving hard. Nesbitt kicks it outside. Newton pumps. Newton outside Allen. Allen now back to Newton. Newton makes a man miss. Newton up, gets it.
Holy kid. Kobe Newton, the man of a million shot fakes in one possession.
His defender jumped probably combined 10 feet on those shot fakes. And Newton gets the 3 ball.
Well, there's probably 5 shot fakes in one possession.
Yeah, between Allen. 3-point lead. Acano goes up. Good defense by Belic. And knocked away by Allen. Gatorezzi goes up and no good.
Oh, big stop by the Cowboys right there. Gave up some point-blank shots, but didn't give up the bucket.
3-point lead for the Aggies. Nesbitt brings it up court. Jordan Nesbitt, 11 points, none in this second half. He'll move to his right. Nesbitt driving in. Nesbitt moving hard. Nesbitt hands it off. Abube up and in and one!
All set up by that attacking from Jordan Nesbitt, getting deep into the paint. It collapsed that defense, and Abube was left wide open.
What a 3 by Kobe Newton to make it a 3-point play. And now Abube, after this break, will have a chance to tie it back up. Belic, crowd getting right back into it. Templin with it. Templin almost has it poked away, goes up over Abube. Abube was looking the other way, and Templin decided to take it.
Oh, that was nearly a breakaway dunk for Jordan Nesbitt. He almost had that steal, but to Templin's credit, gathered himself and made a good shot on that possession.
Here's Newton with it. 9 points for Kobe Newton. Newton inside. Belic with it. Belic tries to get it to Abube, and a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Cowboys. Sundance Wicks wanted Belic to go up with it.
He had a lane to score. Those are the times you just can't be unselfish. You got to be a little bit selfish to be a really good scorer. That's an opportunity that the Cowboys missed on.
Abube goes, gets a breather. Cole Henry back in the game. Henry's had a couple of big baskets in this second half. 5 on the shot clock. Cowboys have to make a quick play. Officials telling the Utah State bench to sit down. And now Henry in 3 seconds. Henry to Newton, has to go up. A shot clock violation. Newton gets up a little gingerly, but he'll jog back on defense. 5:56 to go in Laramie. Kyle Houston, Steve Gosar with you. Thanks for joining us from the Arena Auditorium. Steve, it's been a game of runs in this second half. It's been a back and forth battle, and it's coming down to the wire.
I think the Cowboys really need a stop right here.
They get one. Utah State keeps going to that lob. It hasn't worked. Belic with it. Belic just slowed things down. Cowboys had numbers for a moment.
Well, they got it at the start of the game, and they haven't got it since. The Cowboys have done a great job defending that, and that was a big stop right there.
Here's Allen.
I'm not sure what that was from Cole Henry. He just fired it off the glass. I'm not sure who was going to be able to catch that.
The controller got stuck on a video game and made a hard pass, but Templin to Martinez. Martinez inside Templin, and a foul on Belic.
Boy, beautiful passing on this side of the court. That ball, that was a beautiful pass inside to Templin.
Templin to shoot 2. Makes the first one. Wills comes in for Kobe Newton.
Maybe Wills can be that perimeter, guard that can get into that paint a little bit better than Newton, but Newton hit a huge couple of threes there, to really get the Cowboys out of this scoring drought that they were in.
5-point lead for the Aggies. Wills brings it up court. Wills hands it off to Nesbitt. Nesbitt standing on the steamboat. Hands it to Wills. 8 on the shot clock. Wills drives in. Wills kicks it outside. Allen, no hesitation, can't get the 3, and Falslev gets the rebound. Thought maybe Wills had an opportunity to stop and pop the pull-up jumper.
You know, like to see that ball screen action start a little bit earlier in that shot clock so you can get some ball movement, a little bit more ball movement after it gets into the paint.
Falslev inside. Johnson's back in the game, working against Nesbitt. Johnson goes up, can't get it. Nesbitt pokes it away, and it's brought down by Allen. Good defense from Jordan Nesbitt. What a game he's had.
He gave up at least 5 inches, maybe 6 against the 7-footer, and managed to get the stop.
Belic drives in and throws it away. Martinez with it. Little 2-on-1. Allen goes up and rolls it in. 7-point lead for Utah State. Didn't look like Belic knew what he wanted to do with that when he got in the air.
Got up in the air. He was caught in a pickle. He didn't know what to do with it. You know what? And those turnovers are costing the Cowboys because they're leading to easy baskets at the other end.
Wills goes up, floats it, can't get it. Rebounded by Acano. Cowboys not quite in a good offensive rhythm. It's a 7-point lead for Utah State. Allen will slow things down for the Aggies. A little over 3 minutes to go in this second half. Drake Allen to work against Wills. Now the switch. 8 against 8. Allen up over Henry. No good. Good D from Henry. Nesbitt brings it up. Cowboys with numbers. Nesbitt slows things down. Nesbitt moving now to his right. Jordan Nesbitt. No points in the second half. Passes to Allen. Almost taken away by Martinez. Allen drives in. Allen pulls up. Allen no good. Up and can't get it. It's poked away, and Martinez will get the board. Cowboys right now looking a little tired, it looks like.
Looking a little tired. I mean, I think that's a good timeout by Calhoun right there. Cowboys have dodged a couple of bullets. You know, they need a bucket here, you know.
Need a bucket out of the break. Utah State with the ball. 62-55 they lead. Back to Laramie after this. Utah State with a 62-55 lead over the Wyoming Cowboys. 2:27 left in the second half. Kyle Houston and Steve Gosar with you. Well, the Cowboys, they'll look to play some good D out of this timeout. Cowboys 9-5 when holding their opponents under 70 points. 2-6 when allowing 70 or more on the season. They're allowing 70.5 points per game. So living on the edge. They're right near kind of that trend with Utah State at 62 right now. They need to stop this 6-0 run for the Aggies.
Yeah, and I love that timeout by Calhoun. This is a big possession right here. And if Utah State can get a bucket right here, you want to control who's going to get this shot, but if you can get a bucket here, that really changed the dynamics of this game.
Falslev working against Newton back in the game. Falslev goes up and lays it in.
Yeah. It's just an ISO clear-out play for Falslev. Had a little bit of size on Kobe Newton. That's one of your better players, and you know what? He delivered.
9-point lead for the Aggies. Big possession offensively for the Cowboys. Wills cross corner. Nesbitt has it blocked and it goes out of bounds. Good hustle play from Drake Allen.
Oh man, talk about closing the gap to an outside shooter and getting a piece of that shot.
Timeout called by Sundance Wicks. Cowboys have 1 timeout remaining.
Look at this replay. Look how Allen just closes that gap. He gets a piece of that outside shot. Good defense, good effort.
6'4", 190 pounds. He got married in July of 2023. So he's well versed in the married life and on the road in Laramie right now.
So what you're saying is, ladies that are watching this telecast, he's off limits.
He's off limits despite the great block, the great extension that you saw there, the great athletic ability. He's playing for 1 right now. Wills to inbound. Wills gets it to Allen. Allen pumps. There's the other Allen on the other side. Abube going in strong. Abube draws the foul.
I love that strong move by Scotty Abube. Just kept going to the rim through contact, picked up the foul. Now he's got to deliver at the foul line, and this is not the strength of his game.
And he made one earlier. It was one of two, but on the year, just 38%. These are huge ones right here. And misses that one.
Just a bit long. And then a little bit more long.
See if he makes the adjustment. And he banks it in.
You know what? He did make the right adjustment. He just straightened it out. You know what? Kept the same length and just used the glass.
When you can hit it in that square on the glass, usually goes in. That's why it's there.
It's never a doubt.
1:35 to go. Wills reaching in, trying to poke it away. Good play by Abube. He pokes it. Martinez with it. Gets it to Templin, and a quick timeout from Jared Calhoun. Good defense by the Cowboys. Almost earned a couple steals.
Boy, great timeout from the bench right there. Utah State's out of sorts. The Cowboys are getting, you know, a hand on every pass right there. Great timeout. Get them settled back. You got 10 seconds. You still got time to get a good shot. This is a big possession. Last time they called a timeout, they did an ISO for Falslev and got a good bucket out of it. See what they do this after this timeout.
An 8-point lead for the Aggies. Cowboys 0 for their last 6 and no field goals their last 5:38. Utah State has shored things down defensively. Utah State can hold on. It would be their 34th 20-win season in the Mountain West Conference, which leads all teams. It's amazing the consistency they've had. Wyoming right there, 24 20-win seasons.
Look for Utah State right here to throw the ball in. Whoever catches it, either a dribble handoff is what they love to do out of this, and just get some quick action going to the basket. And I'll tell you, with Martinez and Falslab, they've got two guys that can really score the ball.
Yeah, you imagine it's going to stay in the hands of Martinez or Falslev or Allen, the three guys with the hot hands right now, and three of your leaders. Wills right in on Falslev. They get it to Templin. Falslev going in. Poked away. Does it go off?
Oh, no.
They're going to replay that. Nesbitt did poke it. He was thinking that it went off of Falslev.
And I think it did, honestly. That's the exact play. I thought they were going to run out of that. Right back to Falslev with that handoff. Great defense by Jordan Nesbitt right here.
Blue plays on the review.
It's tough. You see it go off the left hand of Nesbitt. Did it go off the middle finger, the fingertips of Falslev before it goes out? The call on the court was Utah State ball. You always got to go back to that to see if there's conclusive evidence.
From what I see here, that angle and then coming from the baseline, I think that's off Jordan Nesbitt. I think that's a good call. Initially, it looked like it came off and hit Falslev's hand there right at the end, but I don't think it did.
So 6 seconds left on the shot clock if it stands as is. Hasn't been really an angle that we've seen, Steve, that would lead us to believe that this call is going to be overturned. So if you're the Cowboys, you have to assume, hey, we're going to be playing defense for this last 6 seconds. We've had a good defense stand the first 24 seconds. Let's really be cognizant of not fouling, having good D this last 6.
And finishing that defensive possession with a rebound. You cannot let, you know what, Utah State off the hook late in the shot clock. They only got 6 seconds left to get a shot off here. You can't let them get the shot off and then an offensive rebound and another attempt to score.
If you are Utah State and you get this ball back, are you going back to Falslev like you've done a couple of times out of the timeout, or do you just try to find the best option available knowing there's only just 6 seconds left on the shot clock?
Yeah, I think you just got to have a quick hitter. That out of bounds play that they did underneath here, you know what, in the first half is probably what I would go back to. Falslev is setting a screen and then he slips. You know, the Cowboys got caught on a switch, and being behind Falslev gave up an easy basket. They can't do that this time.
Let's take another look at this play. It goes off the left hand of Nesbitt, and they're trying to determine, did it eventually go off of Falslev before it went out of bounds?
Boy, that's just going to be really tough to overturn that call right there from what was called on the court.
Again,
personally, I don't think they will.
The call on the court is Utah State ball off of Jordan Nesbitt.
Call on the court remains blue possession.
And the call on the court, it remains Utah State ball, just like we had thought from those replays. Again, nothing that was going to be conclusive to overturn that. Crowd doesn't like it, but the Cowboys have to play strong defense right now. Allen to inbound. Allen throws it long way. Falslev against Abube. Falslev, long three ball, rebounded by Jordan Nesbitt. Cowboys bring it up. Wills is looking for Abube. Wills moving quickly. Wills spins off the glass and in. A.J. Wills, what a play. 6-point lead for the Aggies.
Huge bucket for the Cowboys. Wills takes that shot in transition. They needed that quick shot, and they needed the bucket.
Cowboys, they don't have to foul. They just need to play a good, solid defensive possession. Martinez, he's going to hold this probably the whole time. Allen reaches in, almost pokes it away.
I would not foul him, though.
There's Allen. Allen, little 2-on-1 right now. Allen goes up. He gets fouled hard by Templin. But what a play defensively from Allen, turning into offense.
Wow, he was really physical on the ball there, and I was worried he was going to foul. Put a great free throw shooter at the line. That's what you do not want to do. He got away with the steal, though, and a huge turn of events for the Cowboys.
Wills with the great play. And then here's Allen, the strong move. And Templin, he does what you're supposed to do, not let up an easy layup. Allen hits the first free throw.
You and I were talking about this earlier. You had Abube coming down the other side, but you have such an advantage when you're coming down in transition. You know, you're tempted to make that pass, but until somebody stops you, you got to keep it and attack the rim, and that's what, you know what, Dante Allen did and got a huge 2 free throws for the Cowboys. Timeout
Called by the Cowboys, 39.2 left. Utah State with a 4-point lead. And Steve, you look at the last game against San Diego State and how crazy that game ended up. It was a 20-0 run by San Diego State. And then Wyoming, in the final 10 seconds, an 11-2 run. There is no quit in this Cowboys team.
Oh, they just never give up. They play right, you know, from tip to buzzer, and they find ways to make plays like Dante Allen here, you know what, 30 feet away from the basket, manages to get a steal on Utah State's best player to go down and hit 2 free throws. There's a lot of time on this clock, and you still just need to get a stop.
And no timeouts for either side, so you got to keep that in mind. If somebody gets trapped in a corner or on the side, they're either going to have to give it up or turn the ball over. Yeah. You can't call that timeout.
Going to have heads up, maybe throw it off the defender's leg and try to get that to get the ball out of bounds. But this is going to be high IQ moments right here. You know what? Players thinking about the ball game, time and score. What do you do? And a lot of times you'll see, you know what, some critical mistakes are made down here, down the stretch, that cost ball games.
So what do you do on defense right now for the Cowboys? Down 4, 39 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think you play it solid. I think you just don't try to give up an easy one. I don't think you need to foul right away. See if you can get a turnover you know what? Right now they're picking them up full court. I like it. You know what? See what they can get out of it.
Falslev gets it inside into Martinez. Wills with the foul against Falslev. Almost got that turnover. But Falslev will go to the line. He's only a 55% free throw shooter. So not a terrible person to foul if you're the Cowboys. But under 1 minute. Falslev almost at 67%. Martinez is the guy that you don't want to foul at all. Under 1 minute, over 1 minute, he's just lights out. Makes the first one. Henry back into the game. Look to see if he can pull down a strong rebound if Falslev were to miss. Nesbitt down on the blocks as well. Falslev hits the second one.
Didn't work out for the Cowboys, but I think that's a gamble that they needed to take.
Wills will bring it up. 6-point lead for the Aggies. Wills drives in. Wills is met by Allen, and he is pushed and will go to the line.
That's really not what you want if you're, Coach Calhoun. You don't want to stop the clock. That clock is your enemy right now. You want to keep that clock moving. Don't let the Cowboys get to the line and to be able to score with no time coming off that clock and to get set up defensively again.
Yeah, only a few seconds off the clock without how quickly Wills got up the court. Makes the first one. He's a 74% free throw shooter. So then it'll be the same sort of recipe defensively for the Cowboys. Try to get a steal on the inbounds. You don't need to foul right away, probably. Wills makes the second one. Falslev to inbound. Falslev gets it to Martinez. Martinez is fouled, and just 9/10 of a second goes off the clock. Wills with another foul. Well, here's Martinez, great free throw shooter.
Yeah, this is the guy you did not want to have the ball. Your leading scorer, one of the best free throw shooting, players on your team, and a guy that's just been in a number of these situations over the course of his career.
Third foul on Wills. Martinez made 8 free throws in the last game against Wyoming. He's 5 of 5 tonight. Make it 6 of 6. And then Henry comes back in. Same formula. Abube goes out. Martinez makes it.
I think if I'm Utah State, I'm extending this court, maybe a 2-2-1 and back into that matchup zone again. And, make the Cowboys hit a contested 3 on you.
Albury comes up, Cowboys have to inbound it. And a pass goes over the head of Kobe Newton. Costly turnover for the Cowboys.
Costly turnover. They needed to get a bucket right there. And I just think, Kobe Newton just wasn't ready for this pass. He was still coming off the screen, and that ball was in the air. He didn't even have a chance to get an eye on it.
Martinez with it. Newton called for the foul. So Martinez will go back to the line.
Now that was unfortunate for the Cowboys there. Offensively, to come away empty-handed and not get a chance to get a shot attempt up. And I'll be honest with you, that's where Obi Agnew has been so critical for the Cowboys. Late game situations, going and being able to create his own shot and knock them down.
Well, here's that stat that we showed again earlier. 9 and 5 would hold the opponents under 70. Well, now Utah State has hit that 70-point mark. Cowboys need a quick bucket. Here's Wills. Henry sprinting up court. Wills. Stops, pops a three, gets it. Now, can they get the steal on the inbound?
That's
Templin with it, and Henry fouls him.
Yeah, that's a good person to foul if you're the Cowboys. Templin, I definitely would rather have him on the line than Martinez.
Wills, not sure he was the one that was expecting to take the three, realized that some time was going off the clock, stopped and fired it.
Well, they were giving him the shot right there. They didn't have enough ball pressure on him. I don't think that's what the shot you want to let him have. You know what? Just a clean look at it.
Little miscommunication. An official was looking at a replay right now. They handed the ball to Templin. He takes a foul shot and misses. So a little miscommunication between the officials at the moment as they try to figure things out. They're looking at the clock and where it might have stopped, but nobody told anybody else that they were stopping things for a moment.
Templin was appreciative of getting a little practice there at the
Clock
line.
is confirmed.
So they check the clock. It does stay at 14 seconds. Cowboys would have loved a few extra tenths of a second. So Templin, he missed the practice free throw. Can he make the adjustment, or will it stay the same? And it stays the same.
A bit closer of a miss than Scotty Abube's first one, though.
We'll see if Templin goes off the glass. Doesn't get it. Nesbitt pulls down the rebound. Wills moving it up. 11 seconds. Cowboys need a quick bucket. Wills with it. Wills hands it off. Newton, 5 seconds left. Hands it off to Allen. Allen with the three ball. No good, but Henry puts it in. Cowboys need a steal. 1.2 seconds left. 3-point lead for the Aggies. Inside, and Allen is fouled by Allen.
Just unfortunate it took so long for that shot to get up, and Cowboys burned some time right there, but good defense on Utah State's part. They just prevented them from getting a decent look.
Allen to shoot two. And he makes the first one. Well, Drake Allen has had a fantastic game. He misses. Henry heaves it. No good, and that's how this game ends. Utah State comes and plays a great road game against Wyoming. They hold on to beat the Cowboys 71-67. Steve, it was two great games in the regular season between the Aggies and the Cowboys. A combined 7 points in the two losses for the Cowboys.
I was just going to say that exactly.